Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that commercial. You're back at BSG 29. Up next, we have Kinnin11 playing Ōkami, the dog game. Thank you for waiting, and I think we're about ready to throw it live. Alrighty, Kinnin, good luck, have fun, and show us something nice.
Hello, everyone. Before starting, could you put the host a little bit louder for me? I can barely hear him. Anyways, hello, everyone, and welcome to Ōkami. We're going to be playing a New Game Plus Old Brushes, so we're going to start off with a nice little New Game Plus file. And I'll explain what Old Brushes means when we get into the run. Anyways, but without much further ado, is everyone ready? Okay, and give me a countdown then. There we go. So timing technically doesn't start at file select, but it's a lot easier to do so for races and marathons because timing actually starts the moment the gong plays. So that's just about, there we go. So in Ōkami, we play as the wolf god Amaterasu, who is a beautiful white wolf, and she's gonna go fast. Oh, really fast. So at the start, you notice me jumping in and out of cutscenes. This is called speed restoration. Whenever you jump into a cutscene, your speed gets saved. And when you jump out of it, you restore your speed. This way we can keep our full speed for as long as possible because it takes a little bit of time to charge up to full speed. And a lot of the run is dependent on making sure you have full speed throughout the entire way. So coming up next, we're going to see our big gimmick of the run, which is called the brush. With the brush, you can manipulate the world like put a star into a constellation. And by doing that, we actually get, in this case, we get a new brush power that allows us to restore things. It's also called restoration. So for instance, we restore this this river back to its normal state. And you might already guess from the fact that we call this category Old Brushes that we have to get every single brush power. There are 13 in total. And in New Game Plus Any Percent, we actually skip 6 of them. So in this case, I have to get all of them. And as an extra added feature to make it a little bit, make it a bit better, we also get all the upgrades of the brushes, which causes a couple of really cool glitches and some nice little detour here and there that I really like to do.
So it's not something you just can brush off.
No, sadly you can't. That would be something. Oh wow, that one actually worked. That's surprising. So here we get Power Slash. With Power Slash we can slash through things powerfully. And it'll allow us to continue in the game, because right now in the story, we basically have to cut down the fruit to release the souls of the village that is outside. And to do that, we have to get Power Slash and Restoration. I mean, they're the first brush powers you get, but we don't really use them too often in the speedrun. Just when we need to. Honestly, when it comes to fighting, we just, you'll see. Don't worry about it. We just cheat the hell out of them. There we go.
So, Kinnin, we have a donation.
Oh no.
A €1 whole. And it means you can dab now. Because Sniper donated €1 for the dab jar.
Good luck with getting me to dab for €1. That's not worth it. That's bad value.
Okay. So how much do we have to raise this run for you to dab? 100 euros?
Something like that, yeah.
I think we can do it.
A €1 dab, seriously. Anyways, so right now we are back in the village, but everyone's turned into stone. Oh no, what's happening? Well, I'll just talk to like 2 statues and yeah, then I'll leave. I think it'll be fine. There's the second statue that we talk about, and there's a giant boulder in the way. Whatever shall we do? I've got an idea. Oh boy. There we go. Infinite jump glitch, and we'll jump over. So what I just did there is called KT jumping. I often refer to it as just KTs. It's an infinite jump glitch, which is pretty cool and pretty difficult at the same time. Basically, what's happening is you have these karmic transformers, or KTs, and whenever you switch them in mid-air, the game thinks that you're on the ground for a single frame. And if you input a dash on that single frame, you will basically be able to jump off of that dash and get an infinite jump. It's pretty sweet. And it basically, when we're using it, it allows us to sequence break the complete living shit out of this game. There are so many things that you can do with it. And it'll be the main glitch that you'll see. So anyway, it's time for a first fight, which means that I have to equip a couple of things. I'm equipping some weapons and 2 very useful items. And then I'm just finishing the fight with the most overpowered item in the entire game. They're called exorcism slips, and what they do is they basically just deal a bunch of damage to everything in the fighting arena, and we use that a ton to cheat through all of our fights. It's pretty sweet.
Did you say cheating? I thought you meant glitching.
Same deal, right? If you have
So
to believe
glitching is
YouTube
cheating.
comments.
Nice.
Well, it's more cheesing than cheating, I guess. It does feel a little bit cheap to do it like this, though. It kind of creates, like, the run is more execution-based thanks to being able to skip fights in such a way, or to finish fights quickly. Which, in my opinion, is nice, because the execution that you do have to do is pretty tough. So, yeah. So right now, the game wants us to use the sunrise brush power, but we technically don't have it yet. However, the game is nice, and he's like, oh yeah, sure, you just use sunrise, don't worry about it. It's actually like, in the 90% speedrun, this would be the first brush power we quote-unquote skip. And it's pretty useful. Because it allows you to do the Kamiki boulder skip without like having to do weird things later on to keep going. Stay hydrated. So right there's a little sapling. Those are called the guardian saplings. We have to make it grow first. So we're gonna go to one of my favorite segments. It's Susano time. So everyone say it with me. Here we go. Su. Da. No. Susano.
I'm sorry, I missed it. Could you repeat it?
Oh. Should have paid attention. No wonder you get bad grades.
I didn't know the words beforehand. You should have informed me.
Oh my lord. Okay, so this is Ball, and Ball is not cooperating today. I clipped through it like twice already. The ball is basically like a round object with way too precise collision detection. So you'll see a lot of people having a lot of trouble with it. I'm usually okay with it, but sometimes Ball is like, yeah, no, I don't like you. You're gonna have to deal with me. Here we're going to use Sunrise again without having the Sunrise ability. And we're going to be using it to make our Guardian Sapling grow. And by growing the Guardian Sapling, we get ourselves a new brush power. Yay! This one's called Bloom, and it does this. It blooms trees. Now, the main idea of the Guardian Saplings is that if you bloom them, you basically restore the area. So if you look around right now, it's all pretty and green, and it's basically, it's called like a divine intervention. It's actually what they call it. Where you basically restore the area back to its proper state. Also, I did a quick little KT right there to jump over a fight trigger. If there's one thing about this game is that some triggers are too large and some triggers are too small. For instance, that one is too small, but also this one. There's a fight right here, and you can just walk around it like that. It's easy. Don't have to worry about it. I want to have my splits open in case I forget anything. So yeah, next up we're gonna bloom this tree so we get rid of the cursed zone here. There we go. And now it's all pretty again. Now in 90% we would straight up go into the next area right now, but since this is all brushes, I actually do have to go back to Kamiki, make sure I get the sunrise power, and I get another brush power. So we're gonna have to do what is called a reverse boulder skip. So when I first jumped over it, it is boulder skip, but the boulder is still there right now. And because it's still there, I spawn inside of the boulder, so I have to do some funky stuff to get out, like this. There we go. That was pretty sweet. And right now, if you look carefully, like, Kamiki is stuck between two states. It is both in the cursed state and in the uncursed state right now, which causes some really fun little things to happen. So a couple of people are no longer frozen in stone. Wow. Can I please? Bloom. Bloom. Thank you.
Bloom.
The game does not like to circle sometimes. But yeah, usually if you've played this casually, you kind of see like, hey, wait a minute. Shouldn't that lady in the middle of the patch be chasing you down right now? Well, because we have glitched out of Kamiki, and it is currently stuck in two states, she just stands there, and the game still, like the digging game still triggers, and we can still finish it like this. Playing the game on easy mode. I also talked to the lady in the middle right there so that I can actually get the sunrise power, because you have to talk to 3 statues before going up here. So that's why I talked to 2 right at the start. There we go. I'm also blooming all these trees so I can get the other brush power that's here. But first you have to get sunrise. There we go. And this is what it's actually supposed to look like whenever you use it. See if I can store some speed real quick. Probably not. And now that we've bloomed all the trees, we're gonna have a sweet little dance right here. The Konohana Shuffle. I'm gonna swag as well. I kind of have to sneeze too. on the sweet dance moves. Swag. That sunrise was not necessary, but look at that picture. It's so beautiful. Actually, like, if I mess up there, I'd lose a ton of time. Because you kind of have to draw the circles as quickly as you can so that you don't lose time to it. Oh, wow. I missed the stars. Oh, wow. Come on. And there we got lily pad. So lily pad is basically this. You draw a little lily pad on water because if Amy is pretty amazing. She can jump infinitely into the air, but swim? No, she can't. Sadly. She's only a flying dog, not a swimming dog. And then we're going to do another boulder skip and straight out of Kamiki. Now that we're back in Shinshu, we're actually going to do a few things that the game actually wants us to do for once. I'm going to go over here and into Mika's hut right there. And Mika is going to give us a monster list. Now, we're never going to complete the monster list, but there's something that the monster list does that we really want to have happen right now. And that is right as you go outside, it makes it night. To basically show you how you would do the monster list. Because it would spawn like enemies like this, and you have to defeat them and cross them off the list to get a reward. Luckily, we don't have to do that. This is not a top dog run. Top dog for annual 2019. But anyway, now that we've defeated the enemy who kept us cross it off the list. There we go. And then we're going to swim over to the other side. Now, this basically, you almost just have enough to get all the way to the other side. I don't know if they actually planned it with a little like pier over there, but if that pier wasn't there, you would drown before you could get to the end. It's pretty amazing. And here we're going to do a little fight skip. I basically KT over here, and we just we basically just jumped around the trigger. And we're going to have to jump around it after this bit as well. Because we're going to get a new brush power. And it does that, basically. It draws giant bombs. Here we go. Giant smudge becomes cherry bomb. So yeah, now we have cherry bomb. That's another one off the list for all of the brushes. And then we're gonna do some more crazy KTing. All right, there we go. There we go. And we jumped around the fight trigger. Doing that saves about like 10 to 20 seconds. It's a pretty sweet little trick. And now we're basically done with Shinshu Field for now, and we're going to go straight into the next area.
And do you know what went straight into the Jebdar? A 90 euro donations from me. So, guys, only 80 more euros to go for Kinnin to dab.
80 euros to go, guys. You want to see me dab, which I don't like doing. There we go. What I did there is called lily pad skip. In the versions without KTing or whatever, you have to do that one to be able to skip lily pad. I still do it because it's actually slightly faster than drawing a lily pad, funnily enough. Like every moment that you would ever want to use lily pad, it's almost faster to not use it. Or there are other ways of doing it. Hello, Bloom? Thank you.
Bloom.
It's bloom, not gloom.
I said bloom.
Okay. Anyways, this tunnel is the devil. The camera is locked, and it basically like switches like angle every now and then, and it becomes almost impossible to run through it normally. And here we're gonna do another little KT to jump around another fight trigger. Yay! Yeah, there's a lot of like jumping around triggers. It's really sweet. That fight, like, it just takes a small while to do, but it's really annoying. And we can do it later anyways. Well, we have to do it later anyways. So we went up right there because there's a little fast travel point called Mermaid Springs. And those Mermaid Springs are useful for fast travel. So you do have to activate them though. So if I were to forget to do that, I would lose over 2 minutes just in traveling back. And there we go, another nice little KT. That is a liquid KT. Now, liquid KT is almost the same as a regular KT, except that I don't really have to do a frame-perfect dash input. I can just dash right above the water and then switch to get the thingy. So usually when we get into a new area, the first thing we do is just go to the Guardian Sapling as quickly as possible to bloom it. However, in this case, you actually cannot bloom the tree because it's right at the start, if, like you can see on the map, like right there. However, we have to go into here and defeat Waka like that. Blink and you'll miss it. And if you don't do that, well, it just doesn't work. It's only ever been proven to work on a single version, and it's very specifically the Japanese Wii version. That one allows you to just jump straight up to the Guardian Sapling and bloom it. We have no idea why, it just does it. So we're like, okay. So yeah, right there is the sapling. Work. There we go. Now that we've bloomed the sapling, we're gonna go a little bit backwards, and we're gonna go over to those little like mounds in the distance, if you can see them, and we're gonna do a little mini game because we like mini games. They're cute. So in this mini game, we have to bonk against the blue mole, and we have to do that 3 times. Now my trick with it is basically I look at when he crosses with another mole, and he basically always switches paths when he does that. And that way you can actually predict where he's gonna go, and it makes the minigame a little bit faster. I know some people use cherry bombs to get the blue mole, but this one, this strat is way faster, and in my opinion, a lot easier. But it gives us the teapot, which we're gonna give to the brewer over there, and he's all happy, and he gives us a golden mushroom, and we're gonna be using that golden mushroom to get an upgrade a little bit later on. And now that we're done with that, we can actually continue on improving Taka Pass a little bit. Because we're going to run through this demon gate, and whenever you run through a demon gate, this happens. You get into a fight that you cannot escape, and you just have to defeat all the enemies, and usually it gives you something in return. In this case, it basically restores a little bit of the area and gives us another mermaid spring. So we just basically unlocked a fast travel point into Takapas, which is going to be useful. And we're going to go straight through this Tori. If you don't go through the Tori over there, you basically don't enter Sasa Sanctuary. It's pretty neat like that. And going in, we're gonna do some sweet stuff.
Talking about sweet stuff, what is in your opinion the best category of this game?
This one actually.
Why?
It basically has all the cool tricks, like this one. So we jump out of bounds and we just fall for a little bit. Now, whenever well, I'm gonna have to focus for a bit. Sorry. 1, 2. There we go. So as we fall, and there we go. There's the interior of Sasa Sanctuary. So there's a cool little feature of this game where the interior of areas are below the exteriors. And by abusing that fact, we can get into Sasa Sanctuary early. We're not supposed to be here yet at all. And it allows us to basically just skip a bunch of things. It's pretty sweet. So here we're going to go into a digging game. It's basically, the idea is to get the old man with a bamboo stick all the way to the bottom as quickly as possible. So you can see me just like run through here. Oh. If you circle him, he goes faster. But yeah, this game has a ton of cool categories. But this one is definitely my favorite. I do need to improve the record by a bunch because it's still really bad. Anyway, by digging right there, we dig up a hot spring, and it gives us a new brush power. We basically get water spout, and it basically allows us to control water like that. Or like this, we can create pillars of water that we can jump on, which is a useful little thing. And by using water spout, we can get that little bamboo tipper to press a button to go into the inner sanctuary. But yeah, recently I did a lot of Top Dog as well, which is also honestly one of my favorite categories as well. It's just we completely overhauled the route, and now it's actually a really fun run to do. Anyway, in front of me you see this weird little thing. I'm going to explain what it does in a little bit. Because we're sequence breaking, we haven't actually got that thing yet at all, but it still appears because the game is like, oh, you got here? Well, sure, here you go. You have it. And we're going to fight against this doggo. Luckily, doggo dies quickly. And the reason that the doggo dies quickly, by the way, is because we have a special item called the String of Beads. It's basically a New Game Plus only item, where if you collect like 100 stray beads scattered all around the game, you get basically this item that gives you infinite health, gives you the ability to give infinite to use your brush powers infinitely, and it gives you 10 times attack power. So talking to Mr. Bamboo there, we got a mermaid coin, which allows us to finally use the mermaid springs to fast travel. So in a bit I'm going to buy like 11 of them because it's faster inputs, and that way we can do fast travel throughout the game. Pretty cool. But yeah, the String of Beads and the Karmic Transformers are both New Game Plus only items, and they basically make this run completely different from its counterpart New Game, which also has like a ton of cool glitches. And actually recently a glitch was found that saves like what? I think it was like 5 to 10 minutes, something crazy like that, where we basically are able to skip a dungeon we weren't able to skip before, which is really cool. No one ever thought it would be possible to do that in New Game until one of the Japanese runners found it. It's pretty cool. Actually, a lot of cool new things that have been found quite recently, or in the past year. I've been running this game for 4 years now, and I've seen a lot of new things come around, and every time it's just really cool. Here we're getting into a little fight to basically like get rid of a bit of cursed zone right here. That's what all the like weird mist and Japanese kanji were. And by doing that, we can actually like do things again. And now we get what is called the K9 tracker. Now this was the thing that was floating in front of me a while back. And the idea of the K9 tracker is that it shows you the way towards these dogs. Now there are 4 dogs scattered into Kusa village. And we have to feed all 4 of them to continue.
Bork.
Bork. Get your Borks out. I think the FFZ emotes are working right now. If so, then if you do all caps Bork, you get a sweet little emote.
Can we get a Bork in chat?
Anyways, here's another dog hidden in bamboo. That's totally where dogs hide. So yeah, the idea is basically that because of some evil spirit, all the dogs have run away from Princess Fuse over there. And we basically have to feed them to get them to go back to her. Or else she can't go into the dungeon to defeat the big bad. There we go. Now, a while back I said that we have to feed 4 dogs. That is still correct. However, because we were sequence breaking and got that one dog fight early, the game actually thinks that we have already fed 4 dogs, which we clearly haven't. But it still gives us the final like dog to fight in this area, which is Tai over there. And it also gives us a opportunity to do something else that I really like. So first we gotta fight Tay. And that was the fight. Basically just mash a button. See if I can get a swag buffer. Ah, I didn't get a swag buffer. Wow. Anyways, after the fight, we're gonna feed towards the ass of the green dog so we can get the purple dog. And by getting the purple dog, we suddenly are over here. So when you feed that dog, it basically warps you to the spot where the dog was supposed to be. And I guess it's a little bit of a small little warp near the end. It skips a nice chunk of movement, which I really like. It's a nice little glitch right there. And then we're gonna run out of Kusa Village and continue on to the next bit. So it's gonna turn night in a little bit. There is a day and night cycle, and later on we can manipulate it, but for now we can only just like when it turns night, it turns night, and that's completely fine. I'm gonna do a bit of walking, so stay hydrated, everyone.
while you're walking, let me read something to you guys. I'm just gonna tell you about BSG Annual 2019. It's gonna be in a couple of months. Submissions have been closed sadly, but it's gonna be an awesome event. It's gonna be in Hotel Asteria in Venray this year. It's gonna be a week-long event from the 17th to the 25th, I believe.
Something like that. I do have to interrupt you real quick because we're gonna go
Go
straight
ahead.
into the next glitch. Yay, more glitches. Oh, damn. Never mind, you can continue. Actually, I can do it like this. New
You
game
go
plus all
ahead and
brushes is
glitch.
backup strats. Let's go. There we go. I'm totally not supposed to do it like this, but it works. So here we are going to do another corner glitch, as it's called, to jump out of the water where we're not supposed to be able to jump out. And then we're going to jump up here, do some more KTs up. And there we go. And that just skipped an entire, like, 20-minute dungeon. Yeah, it sounds weird, but, like, simply doing that saves, like, a good 20 minutes. And that's actually the glitch that, well, yeah, I guess 20 minutes. That's actually the glitch that has been found in New Game as well, where you do a series of really difficult and weird jumps to basically skip the dungeon as well. It's really sweet. In this case, in New Game Plus All Brushes, we do have to go into the dungeon eventually, because there's a brush power in there, but it's actually faster to just do this first, so we can get a certain ability in a little bit. There we go. So right there, we do actually have the brush power to get into the area down there. You need Cherry Bomb for that, but it's actually still faster to just KT over it. It saves a couple of seconds. Pretty nice. And with a little camera trick, you can fill one basin early, and that way you can just get this one even faster than normally. And get this. Wow, come on. No. And Bloom Rio Coast. Anyway, the glitches ain't stopping. Oh, wow. We suddenly have speakers here. Damn, they're loud. Anyway, the glitches ain't stopping. We're gonna go into our next glitch already. And remember a while back when I said that the interior areas are below the exterior areas? Well, we're gonna do one of those again. We basically clipped through a weird polygon, and that allowed us to basically skip a whole walking section and just jump straight down here. All the way to the dojo. And there we go. Oh. We're gonna learn some awesome techniques to make us even better than before. And this is the main reason why we are here early, because we just learned double jump. So like this, we can just double jump, and that basically saves us having to do like half the KTs, which is really nice because single jump KTs are very difficult to keep going for a long time. So being able to do double jump KTs is just nice to have, and we try to get this as early as possible in just about every New Game Plus speedrun. Simply because like glitching towards this point is quite easy to do. And after that, we're going to learn another technique. This is called Digging Champ. It allows us to dig through like big blocks like that one. And we need that for a brush power upgrade. So we just basically get that while we're here anyways. We basically have all the money from our previous playthrough as well, so that really helps us out. And then we're basically on the other side of Rio Coast. And we're gonna go straight into the next area. There's another fight trigger on this stone pier over here. And we're gonna, as per usual, simply jump around it. There we go. And we just skipped another fight. Like I said, most of the triggers are basically too small. And we're gonna go into Scion City, which is basically cursed by a weird mist, and some of the buildings are missing. However, I'm gonna do another like sweet little glitch right here. We're gonna jump out of bounds. I really like this one. I have double jump. There we go. Now we're gonna fall down here. There we go. And using the map, I'm gonna position myself a little bit above the two swords, like right here. And that way, we basically just fall into the restaurant. There we go. And this guy's like, oh, I really want to like cook with the golden mushroom. And guess what we have? We have the golden mushroom. So we might as well give it to him. And by doing that, we actually get a brush power upgrade. Now, the only problem with this brush power upgrade is that we actually do not have the brush power yet. But the game is like, huh? You don't have the brush power yet? Whatever. It's fine. You can just have the upgrade. The game never actually checks if you have the actual brush power or not, because you're supposed to have it right now, which is just sweet. There's a lot of those little things that the game does. And instead of going out of a restaurant, we go out of nothing. It's such a cool glitch. I really like doing it. And then we're going to go into the aristocratic quarters of Scion. So what you're supposed to do is first you're supposed to like dig up water and then do a fishing mini game. So that this guy raises the bridge, but you know what? We don't really need to raise the bridge, do we? Who wants to build bridges, seriously? We want to go fast, we don't want to build a bridge. Huh. So Waka just like moans at us for a little bit, and then we're gonna go over to Rao over here. And don't worry about that sound right there. That is intended. They're basically Rao uses a lot of sex appeal to get you to do things. That's the idea.
Ow.
So the story right now is basically that for some reason the Emperor is sick, and because the Emperor is sick, it might be that he is the one causing all this weird mess. But you know what? I don't really trust the idea that the Emperor is sick, so we're gonna jump over this gate right here and just check up on him. Oh, see, there he is. Look at him. Oh, he's totally fine. I don't worry about it. The Emperor isn't sick. Fine. And just like that, we got another brush upgrade for a brush power we don't actually have yet. This one is called Mist Warp, and that one allows us to have another fast travel option. So now we have two different fast travel options, which really works in our favor in the speedrun. I'm gonna jump over the gate again. There we go. Just a sweet little excursion. Ah, damn. Thought I could grab it. And now by grabbing these slips, these were actually the slips that Rao wanted from us. So we're just gonna jump over and give them back. We're nice people. There we go. And she's like, hey, you know, there's this ship in the middle of the ocean, which is sunken, and I really want to check it out because there might be something cool inside. And we're like, yeah, sure. We'll do that a little bit later. We first have better things to do. Usually at this point in the game, you're just like, oh, I have to do it now. But because we're sequence breaking so much, we're going to do that while we're doing another section. Might as well do it like that. For a second there, I thought I already had to sell the Holy Bone, but that's way later. For now, we're going to go all the way back to Agata Forest, which I basically kind of skipped over, except getting the Mermaid Spring, which is quite important because we're going to get another Mermaid Spring right here. And that way we can fast travel towards Agata Forest. So coming up next as well is another Susano section, and because apparently I didn't clue you guys in properly this time, I am going to, in a bit, say with me, you leave my Kushi alone. Because that's what Susano says. That's what I like to say as well. Yeah, and have I clued you in properly now? Or weren't you paying attention?
I wasn't paying attention, of course.
Oh, that's your problem then.
The audio guy told
Say
me
it
to pay
along.
attention.
You leave
Leave
my Kushi alone.
alone.
There we go. Good job, audio guy. I know, host guy. My bad.
Wow.
You're also an audio guy in my heart.
Thank you. And thank you for educating me.
Anyway, after doing that, we get the canine tracker again, which can only mean one thing. We have to kill a dog. That came out a bit darker than I thought it was. Well, first things first, we're going to go over to this little dude, because apparently that's where he is. This is Ōkami, and he likes to fish, so we're going to help him fish. Now, we're going to be fishing for the legendary whopper, which is totally not a giant salmon. It is actually something else than a giant salmon. So with fishing, the idea is you connect the line to a fish, and then you go in the opposite direction of what the fish is going, and that way you reel it in. It's a nice mini game until you have to like get all the fish, which is completely random and takes forever, and you can lose 20 minutes on a single fish. And I totally don't have like giant annoyances about that. And anyway, oh wow, that sure is a whopper of a salmon. Yeah, so basically, because we're sequence breaking so much, we do the first fishing game, which gives us a giant salmon, rather than the whopper. But I still get the rewards for both the first and the second fishing minigame with Kokari, which is pretty cool. So, like, the first one is getting a key, and the second one is getting the crescent, rush power. And I get to fight against the doggo. So the key that we just got is the dungeon key for the dungeon of this area, but we don't actually need it. It's extremely slow to use that one because there's a long cutscene when you open it. So instead, we're just gonna drop it, and we're gonna KT over the gate, and that way enter it. Because why would we do things the intended way? That's for nerds. I'm a nerd. Anyway, in Sutta Ruins, we're just gonna instantly jump straight up. This skips like 3/4 of the dungeon. Because the only thing we really want to be doing here is getting a brush power. There we go. Got over the invisible wall. And we're going to go over here. So the idea of this dungeon is that it's basically been overrun by evil. And because of that, there's this like, well, some people call it the purple Listerine. Anyways, it's basically toxic waste. And if you go into it, you die instantly. So we kind of want to get rid of it so that we can, oh, wow. We can get into the rest of the dungeon and get the right brush power. There we go. And the first thing to do that, we have to cleanse this area, so we have to destroy 3 demon gates. Luckily, that goes really quickly. And then I'm going to have to sit up a little bit. Because there's a cutscene right here, and I hope I can skip it. Nope. Ow. So this cutscene you can technically skip, but the amount of time you have for it to skip it is like a single frame, and there's no visual cue for it. So it's just mash and pray or lose like 18 to 20 seconds. It's really stupid and annoying. Luckily, getting all these pots is pretty easy. You have to... The game wants you to walk all the way around like it showed you, but you can just like jump towards it and then cut them all in one stroke. And that makes life a little bit easier. I'm going to go back to the start of the dungeon. Just jump all the way down. And go into the center. Because here's our next brush power in a bit. Oh, the screen just went haywire. Okay, there we go. My screen just suddenly went black. It's back again, but that was weird. Anyways,
don't worry, it's more than just your screen.
Okay. Anyway, we got a new brush power. It's called Vine. With it, we can vine ourselves and other things towards the like little floating flowers, the Konohana blossoms. It's pretty cool.
As you said, it's gonna be fine.
It seems to be working again, so. It was like right at it was at the right moment for it to happen, luckily. Anyway, we're gonna go over to the final dog that we have to fight to get into the Guild Shrine. Now, I have a small question to chat. In Guild Shrine, there's this new glitch that's been recently found. Should I go for it? Or should I say like, let's go fast?
Chat says, just do it.
I was afraid of that. Okay. I'm not sure if it actually saves any time in this category. I don't think it does, but it's pretty sweet. I'll try it 2 times, and then I'll just continue on, because it's actually really difficult to get first try. So by defeating the final dog, we can go back to Kusa village. And by using Mist Warp right there, we can warp between like special origin mirrors or save points, and that really speeds things up a little bit. So in a sense, because I'm like going for the glitch now, I'm doing all of this bit just for safety, to make sure that I can get in if I fail the glitch like one too many times, because it's a difficult glitch, and getting it, like not getting it, does lose a ton of time. I was actually practicing it a little bit earlier, and I only got it like 2 times, so... So first off, we're gonna go into Gale's Shrine, and I'm gonna sit a little bit closer like this, so I have more space. And then we're gonna reload the area, and I'm gonna have to mash for a bit. I don't trust it, okay. Basically, I'm looking for a certain frame of when Emi jumps, and then I can actually go for the glitch. Oh, that's not gonna work at all. That's perfect. Okay, now we can actually go for it. So right now what I'm trying to do is KT through this tunnel without touching the ground. The moment I touch the ground, the glitch is over. And I have to retry it. There we go. Awesome. We got through the tunnel. Whew, that's difficult to do, by the way. I made it look easy, but it's hard. Think I'm over? Yeah, I'm over. Awesome. Okay, now we're gonna void out, and if I'm correct, instead of voiding back into the start, we void in the middle of the dungeon. There we go. Awesome. Coincidentally, that was the first time that glitch has ever been shown off in a marathon. Well, now we have to... actually, I don't have to KT up. What am I thinking? I have Cherry Bomb. I only use this in New Game Plus any %, so I'm not used to doing it like this. It might actually still save time in old rushes, now that I think about it, because you can still skip certain things. But anyways, after doing that glitch, we're gonna KT up to the top of the dungeon to get our next brush power. There we go. We're all the way to the top. Yeah, looking at, like, I have a timer running right now. Looking at the timer, I think I might have to implement this glitch into actual New Game Plus any all brushes runs now. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not losing too much time for trying it, so yeah, it's definitely worth it. There we go. Now we got our next brush power. This is Gillstorm. Basically what it allows you to do is to summon a Gillstorm. Easy as that. So just like that, boom, and we get the little windmill to spin. We're gonna have to use that in any like speedrun anyways, so it's a useful one to pick up right now. And now we're gonna jump all the way back down. And actually, we'll have to run through the dungeon again. But that's fine. Now, usually, when you get Gillstorm, you go to the boss of this area, but... well, we don't really have to. Oh wait, I still actually have the power orbs. I'm supposed to use the power orbs to get into the dungeon. But because I got them for safety, they're still just floating around me. There we go. Alright, that cutscene isn't cleared either. So many word cutscenes happening, I'm just so confused. I've never done this in L brushes before. Anyways, now that we've got Gillstorm, we're gonna go over to the next dungeon to clear that one. And that's gonna take a small bound of movement, so if the host isn't like too distracted, he can go over some things to say.
Hey, I can go over some things.
Oh yeah, baby.
Following our Twitter. It's at BSG Marathon on Twitter. We post updates about just about anything. Like when we're live, what game is playing, when submissions close, all the good things. And you know what also good to do? If you have Twitch, Amazon Prime and connected to Twitch, you have Twitch Prime. And you can use it to sub for free on a channel, like ESA Marathon. And you know what the great thing about that is? You get all them good emotes. You get the BSG emotes, you get the ESA emotes, and you, well, it used to be you didn't get ads, but sadly you do get them.
Oh.
But you support us. You support ESA and you support BSG. And what's better than supporting a charity?
Supporting yourself?
That's true. You don't have to lose yourself.
Like seriously, whenever someone says like, "Oh, I wish I could donate to charity, but I don't have the money to spare," it's fine. Don't worry about it. Just hang out, and it's good enough for us.
Exactly. Be in chat. Have fun. We're here also for your entertainment.
Exactly. Now, when you get over here in the actual like story, you have defeated the Gillstorm boss, and you get this item that allows you to dispel this barrier. But we have this infinite jump glitch, and it's pretty sweet. If I can do it. There we go. And it allows us to basically just jump over the barrier. Like that. And that way we enter the next dungeon, which is Moon Cave, which is my least favorite place. It's my favorite place because it is ridiculous. Like, the route is absolutely amazing. But at the same time, you have to do a ton of KTs, which can get a little bit tough in times. Especially if your PB is like really good here. Trying to beat your PB is just annoying when you get here. You just lose so much time. So first off, we start off in what's called the Calcified Cavern. It's like the prelude to Moon Cave. And instead of doing the normal thing, we're just gonna go straight out of bounds. Be a little bit lower. Had too much height there. There we go. And by going out of bounds, we just skip a whole bunch of things that we have to do to actually get into the moon cave and just go straight to the loading zone. Ain't nobody got time for drawing on a piece of paper.
You've been doing that half of the game. Come on.
Exactly. So right off the bat in Moon Cave, we're just gonna do Moon Cave all out of order. You're supposed to go to the chef first, and the chef tells you like, hey, before the big boss can eat his sacrifice, we have to make an appetizer. Here's the key so you can start making the appetizer. We're gonna skip talking to the chef at all, and we're just gonna go straight into getting all the ingredients together for the appetizer, which are some questionable ingredients. I'm not sure if it like the big boss Orochi. It sure has an interesting flavor when it comes to, or interesting taste when it comes to food. Let's keep it at that.
Hey, there might be an ingredient here.
Oh, we'll see. Also flat imps. When you use a slip like really quickly, you get flat imps, and it's really funny. To me, at least, I think it's funny. I'm lame. So here's the first ingredient, and it's an ogre liver. Yeah, an ogre liver. That'll taste. You can get some good flavor out of a liver. So, I guess an ogre liver tastes just about the same, right?
A little bit of herbs, a little bit of spices. Sounds delicious.
Exactly. You make a nice little pate out of it.
Stop it. You're making me hungry.
You're welcome. And now, this is the reason why I like Moon Cave. Welcome to Moon Cave, where the ceilings don't exist and the walls don't matter. That totally was not a reference. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Points are definitely not made up.
So we're going to be spending most of Moon Cave like this. Simply jumping out of bounds and staying out of bounds for a little bit. And getting back in bounds whenever we need to. So the whole reason we actually go into Moon Cave is coming up in a bit. Because remember, we're doing all brushes, so we need to get all the brush powers. And funnily enough, in Moon Cave, right here, there is a brush power. So this brush power that we're getting is called Inferno. We already got the upgrade a while back in Fire Burst. But what Inferno basically does is it allows us to control fire. Like so. Or if I can actually hit the ice, that would be nice. There we go. And now that we've done that, it's time we go out of bounds again. We've been in bounds for way too long. It's creating a weird itch. We're gonna go out of bounds again. Like I said, the ceilings don't exist. And we're gonna go straight to little flower over here. Yep, it did. There we go. We can vine to it, and that allows us to go back in bounds for a little bit. And we're gonna skip a whole walking section by simply vining us up over there. You're not supposed to be able to do that at all. And then vining up here. And instead of priming a cannon to break open this wall, we're just gonna jump straight over it. Because what are ceilings? Seriously? I've never heard of a ceiling existing. I was supposed to use Guildstorm to push that ball forward, but because we have the upgrade to Inferno, we can just do this, and that way we can melt the ice. It's a nice little time save. And this way we get the next ingredient, and it is a black demon horn. Yeah, so Orochi sure has an interesting taste in food. So the appetizer is like an ogre liver, a black demon horn. I wonder what's more. Awesome. I opened the map real quick to basically see if I got into this room. If you don't check it carefully, you might go under the room and you have to clip back in bounds. It's a little bit more annoying than just like falling in instantly. So the next ingredient is Eye of Fire. Huh. So we're putting in a liver, a horn, and an eye. I mean, I have heard that like the eyes of a fish are a delicacy in many countries, so I guess that can work.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Well, I mean, that pun has so many layers. Okay, so in this bit of Out of Bounds, we're actually going to the kitchen. But instead of talking... Oh, damn. It'll work. It doesn't.
It'll be fine.
I wanted to jump. Gonna do one extra jump for safety. Nope, not high enough. Oh well, I'll just clip back in bounds. Do it the old-fashioned way. There we go. Oh yeah, instead of talking to the chef, we're just gonna go straight to the back here. And there's another demon gate. And from defeating this demon gate, we're gonna get our last ingredient. And the last ingredient is Lips of Ice. Yeah, okay, this is some weird appetizer.
I mean, it's fire and ice.
Yeah, but that doesn't go together. I got this like weird, lukewarm dish. Anyways, by freeing the chef, he instantly makes the appetizer as well because we've got all the ingredients already. And now we've got the ring the dinner bell for each of Orochi's 8 ads. So we have to ring it 8 times. And this is by far the fastest way to do that. And then we get a little cutscene. And actually stretch a little bit. Oh, there we go. Just a little break from the non-stop action is pretty nice. Yay, aerial box. There we go. I'm gonna go straight up to our boss fight now.
So chat mentions the appetizer has to taste bad, so the main dish tastes great.
I guess so, but I think a human, like human flesh, tastes a lot better than the stuff that they put into the appetizer.
Like you're playing as a wolf and not as a human.
I mean, the boss is like an 8-headed snake, so anyways, on to the boss. We're gonna do some funky strats. I really like this boss nowadays. I used to hate it, but Orochi turned out into a really good boss fight. So first we're gonna skip the first phase real quick because he has a shield. Then we're gonna go into the second phase. This is where it's gonna get a little bit interesting. So the idea is that whenever they do an attack, right after one of the head does an attack, they do this. And whenever they do that, you can use a water spout to like basically put the little golden stuff over there, which is all sake, into their mouths. And by starting up earth first and then doing fire, you can actually do multiple heads at once. In this boss fight specifically, doing 2 heads at once is about as much as you can do, because otherwise it really screws up the rest of the phases. I'm gonna do this one here so that Earth goes into the cutscene, and then right after the cutscene I can trigger Poison to do his attack. I don't really have to worry about damage at all. I have infinite health, so I'm fine. And after you get 3 heads drunk, you can go on to the next phase with a single L-slip. And after that, in the second phase, the fight becomes a lot easier because now you can actually hit them. Nice, double kill. That's actually a little bit tougher than it looks. But now you can just one-shot each of these heads with your beads. Ow. Hopefully not get hit by them because that's slow. Or by the fire. That's the weirdest way I've killed him in a long time. Anyways, for the last little bit, we're gonna summon a moon for Susano. And he is gonna do a little dance for us again. And I have to recite this one or else I don't know where I am. Good. Will never give in to evil. Okay. I have to recite it so I actually know what all the directions of Power Slash that I have to do. I don't know why I have to do that nowadays, but it just works like that. Anyways, now that we finished off Orochi, the world is all good again, except we already saw that it wasn't. So we're gonna continue on to the next area. But first we have to run away from a festival. Because why would you want to go to a festival? It's like way too many people. I can't handle that shit. People. As one famous philosopher once said, hell is other people. Anyways, we're gonna go all the way back to Ryushima Coast. And instead of doing things over there, we're gonna do more skips. But first, we have to actually be able to get there. Now we could use an origin mirror to fast travel, but by doing this fight, we open up a mermaid spring, which allows us faster fast travel a little bit later on. So this is slightly more optimal. I don't actually need to store speed. all the way back to Rio Coast. And instead of going anywhere where you think we'd be going, we're just going to go straight over this gate. The guards don't even notice it. They're not very good at their job. And we're going to just jump over the gate and into the loading zone.
So it is just like Zelda. Gate skip.
Yeah, basically, yeah. There's a lot of, like, in some sense there is some overlap with the two games. I mean, this is basically Twilight Princess, except with all the boring bits. AKA the human bits. Gonna fight against the nose. Tell you later. I have yet to make that joke on my stream, and now that I've done it, I'm gonna do it every single time. Look forward to that if you ever follow me.
Glad to know you're now a fresh prince.
I'm gonna talk to this guy real quick. He's a merchant, and we're gonna buy a marlin rod from him. We're gonna be using that a little bit later on. But for now, we're gonna go to this, like, grown-up man being bullied by 3 kids and help him out, but he's still too afraid, so we'll just leave him there for a bit. And then we draw a sun right here. And by drawing a sun, we make it morning, and when it's morning, Orca comes around. This is Orca. He's our friendly neighborhood dolphin thing, I guess? I don't know. But he's going to travel us around because we're really bad at swimming. And if Dolphin is good at one thing, it is swimming. Let's hope I don't get too screwed by the Water Dragon. Thank you, Water Dragon. You're nice today. I'm going to go to this island because there is a brush power upgrade right here. Because remember, we have to get all the brush powers and their upgrades. So for this, we're going to play a tourist in Rome for a bit, and we're going to dump a bunch of money into a well.
So you're creating goodwill?
Oh, just goodwill. Because I was on a wheel just now. And that gives us an upgrade to Cherry Bomb, which basically allows us to draw 2 cherry bombs. Also, so many memes. We need them. Well, not really memes, just like bad dad jokes. I love bad dad jokes. Or are like dad jokes like bad by nature? I don't know.
You could say. Or just great.
I'm not sure if there was a pun in there.
No.
Okay.
No pun intended.
Yeah, right.
Like,
yeah.
I just like him.
Anyway, on to the next island, and we're gonna go into another nice little sparkly spring, and we're gonna dump a ton of money in there again. Money!
Money, money, money.
Yeah, in like new game all brushes, you actually have to grind to get all the money. Like you have to know where to grab money and whatever. But luckily in this version, because the money from previous playthrough carries over, we just have a ton of money we can just throw around and have fun with. So yeah, did you guys, like, a while back, did you guys enjoy the fishing minigames I did? Or where I caught that whopper of a salmon? Because I really liked it, and I really would like if there were more fishing games in this run. I kind of miss Top Dog, where you have to do, like, a bunch of them. I mean, we skipped one already. Oh, hey, look at that. It's the fisherman. Isn't that perfect?
I heard you like fishing.
So instead of giving the marlin rod, he actually steals the marlin rod from you. And now you have to watch him fish. Or at least help him fish. So this is why we bought the marlin rod to begin with. Otherwise, we wouldn't get this fishing minigame. Because this guy wants to get a marlin. And the only way to fish up a marlin is, of course, with a marlin rod. Everyone knows that, right?
Looks like he started with Finding Nemo.
Yep. And there's Dory. Now we got this really big fish, which is a big old marlin. And they're really annoying. He swims all over the place and drains your health really quickly, so you have to be careful. I didn't get lucky. You can get like a quick cycle if you get him to one side. And then if you're lucky enough, there we go, that was a quick cycle. Ah! I should actually power slash him. Because then he's already close when you did one power slash, and then you pull him just a little bit closer to just instantly get the next cycle. Which is a really nice little trick to do. So yeah, I'll get back to why we fished up that marlin to begin with in a little while. But first, we have to go over and make it night. And go up to the Watcher's Cape. I have to be careful as to where I park Orca. If I park Orca a bit too close, it's going to be difficult in a little bit. Okay, and I have to remember where I parked Orca to begin with. So the reason we made it night just now is so we can go to this Watcher, and we can give him a star, and that way he can make a wish for us. And what he wishes is this beautiful Whirlpool Galaxy to appear. There's only one problem with this Whirlpool Galaxy, though. It's not spinning. So we'll just like summon some wind on Earth, and that'll make it spin. That's how physics works, right?
Absolutely.
And by making the Whirlpool Galaxy spin, we actually get a Whirlpool. I wonder where it leads.
I think it whirls to a pool.
That was a really bad one, even for your standards.
Yeah.
That was no.
I'll
I'm
try
sorry.
to improve.
I'm sorry, Captain. That was an F. You get an F on your dad joke report card for that one.
A for effort?
Maybe. Anyway, the Whirlpool leads to the Dragon Palace, and they have a couple of problems. We're gonna fix the easiest one first. But that forces me to do a little bit of KTing out of bounds. Because I don't want to talk to the Queen of the Dragonians just yet. We're gonna fix her problems first, and then we'll talk to her. So problem number one is that this little spring has this weird little thing over it, and it's not flowing right now. So I guess we have to do a digging minigame for it to get back up. And right at the start, I'm gonna mash jump, and that way we can jump over that little dividing line. Doing that saves over a minute, by the way. You basically skip half of the digging minigame by doing that, and it's a really cool little glitch. It's something the Japanese community showed us. So again, in this digging minigame, we want to try and get the lady all the way down. we're trying to do is as quickly as possible. Always a little bit tough to keep up with her using these strats, but getting a 503 at the end with one hit is pretty dang good. I'm quite pleased with that. And there we go. Now the spring is all sparkly again, and it gives us a mermaid spring. It also gives us an upgrade to the brush power water spout, which is called Fountain. Now with Fountain, we don't actually need to use mermaid coins anymore to fast travel using the mermaid springs, which is really nice. Now we're gonna KT out of bounds again and go to fix the other problem, which can be described as a bad pet dragon that needs a lesson in obedience. So we're gonna go out of bounds, and here's the majestic water dragon, in case you've never seen it in out of bounds. I do need that KT, thank you. Oh, come on. There we go. So by going into the water dragon like that, saves a little bit of time. And it gets you that sweet image of this really long dragon turning into just like a head. So inside the water dragon, it's actually quite a nice place, but there are a couple of demon scrolls here. Whenever you touch one of those, you actually get into a fight. We don't have to go into fights at all during this speedrun, luckily, so... So we got this key, and with the key we're gonna be able to open this demon lock. I always like that animation. It's pretty funny. And now we're gonna do another cool little glitch. When they made the dragon orb, you basically, what you have to do is go all the way to the back, and you have to release acid, and then put the acid on the dragon orb, and that way you can release it. However, the way they programmed it, which is pretty smart when you think about it, is that you only really have to use water spout on it. Because who's gonna get a water spout from like 2 screens away, right? That's never going to happen, right? And there's a ton of like little things in this run that work like that, and I absolutely adore the run for it. There we go. Oh wow, one of them was floating in midair when I killed him. So now that we've fought the 2 foxes and got the dragon orb free, it doesn't seem like the water dragon is feeling so well. There's all these acid drops like dropping down. That's not good. Let's hope they don't hit us while we're in midair, so we basically drop down and lose. That screen is gone again.
We're having technical issues. Please stand by.
Okay, there we go.
In just a second. Don't worry, it's all normal.
Okay. I think I got to the other side real quick.
We all hope you do.
I did, okay.
You did.
Whew.
He's just so good at this game.
Okay.
I think the best thing for us just to pause for a second and go into the intermission screen. Sorry for this, chat. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Um,
Alright. We have looked into some different issues and we think we found it. We're gonna go right back into it. Kinnin, take it away.
oh, there we go. Okay. Let's keep going. I got the difficult jumps somehow while the screen was doing weird things.
So good as this game.
It's kind of like whenever a drop falls, it's completely random where it drops. So when you're in midair and you get hit, you just lose a ton of time getting hit by it. So yeah. Probably gonna go overestimate right now because of these weird issues, but I really need to get a new HDMI port on my PS3 at one point because I think that's the biggest issue right now. I actually had a ton of difficulties at ESA last year as well, so yeah. I hope it stays fine for now. Anyway, we talked to Queen Autohime. Is like, hey, we accidentally killed your water dragon. Bye! And we just run away. And they're probably really mad at us, but we've got better things to do right now. So a while back, I was talking about the fact that Rao was charming us into going to a ship, and you know what? I think that's a good idea to do right now. I think that sounds like fun, right? I'm gonna go and go treasure hunting in an old sunken ship. On the way over, however, I want to show off like another fun thing you can do with Karmic Transformers. It's probably my favorite useless glitch in this game. So we're gonna grab one of the horses here. Get over here, horse. Gonna switch KT and whee! There we go. We call that the telekinetic grab because we're good at naming things. And it's just funny to see. I always show it off real quick. So this is a decently new thing that I'm going to be doing. Usually you need to go all the way around, go up to a platform and make the water disappear here to get into the sunken ship. However, this time we're going to do something funky. We're going to go into this little corner and we're going to blow some wind and clip right into the ship. There we go. And that way we can get into the loading zone from the outside. It's actually one of the glitches that's been found recently for New Game. And it works really well in this run as well. So I was like, yeah, let's just use it. So yeah, the sunken ship is a little bit boring though. There's this really big dungeon, but yeah, I don't feel like doing all of the dungeons. So instead of getting the water up here, we're gonna do something more fun, like We're just gonna KT over. Like that. There we go. And for this cannon, we used to jump on the cannon to get it to lower, but someone found out that you can just power slash the cannon and then put a bomb in, and that basically puts it at the right angle for us to get to that key. It saves like a good 3 to 5 seconds doing that. It's a nice little time saves everywhere. And this ain't no treasure hunt without treasure. Look at all that treasure. All that sweet loot. We're gonna get this specific little loot thing. This is called the Lucky Mallet. It allows us to shrink things, which is gonna be useful in a bit. So yeah, Ra was just like on top of us for a bit, but then she disappeared. Wherever did she go? Oh no. Maybe she got eaten by the water dragon that we killed already. That's kind of weird. I don't know. Oh hey, the Lucky Mallet is also jumping around. I think we should just like run away to assert dominance. We ain't listening to you, little thing. That we're gonna go over to Ankuku Temple, which is the temple that Ra resides in. Maybe we can find her there. Oh, hey Ra, how are you doing? How did you go through the wall?
Same
Is
way
there-
you do it. Glitching.
Fair. Well, I can go through the wall as well without glitching, huh? Anyways, this leads us to a little shortcut. Yay, I love shortcuts. Wow, hey, we're at the Palace of the Queen. That's interesting. You know what? I'd rather go somewhere else. Also, I should have said this earlier, but quick epilepsy warning. I'm sorry, that was a little bit late. But there's going to be a lot of flashing over the entire screen right now. And I have to do KTs while not being able to see anything.
Don't worry, it'll be over in a flash.
I'll tell you when it's over, so don't worry about it. Okay, in the water, that's fine. There is technically no water there, but the game is like, oh, there's water there, don't worry about it. So I can just go into there. Epilepsy warning over, by the way. You can watch again.
I'm glad to see that in the flash.
I'm so happy you're not flashing on me right now. Anyways, the Lucky Mallet is going to shrink us down all the way to tiny size. And that way we can do the next glitch, because we haven't glitched in a while, haven't we? So this one is really awesome. I really like this one. Let's see if I can get it first try. There we go. Woo! So, for some reason, that pot's power slash hitbox is, well, you can just hit it from anywhere. So if you angle yourself, if you angle a power slash right at the right angle, you can just get it from the start of the dungeon. We actually learned how to do that a pretty long time ago, but it's a pretty sweet glitch and I really like doing it. And this gives us the brush power that is missed. And with Mist, we can slow down time for like 4 seconds. Which is nice because those spiders are pretty fast right now. There we go. And we walk around in a little arc right there because there's still a cutscene, and we'd like to skip that by simply walking around it. And next, well, I haven't been out of bounds in a while, so you know what I'm gonna do? It's gonna go out of bounds again. And this is another case of interior areas being below exterior areas, so I'm gonna have to do like 13 KTs forward. And that way we can get to the area we want to be. 3, 4, 5. I'm actually doing bufferless KTs here, so I'm not buffering a single frame. When you buffer a frame during KTing, you basically make sure that you keep height, but it doesn't really matter if I keep height here, so I can just keep doing it. 10, 11, 12, 13. Now we're just gonna drop for a bit. And, well, from a nice outside area. Wow, that's some weird sounds. Hey, I fell out of bounds again. But yeah, from a nice outside area with some nice fresh air. We're inside a human body. What the hell? So yeah, this is the source of all the evil mist that is perpetuating in Scion, and we're just gonna get rid of it by fighting this dude. And that's the fight.
He won't be missed.
I mean, he's literally made out of mist. Anyway, this is the best movement tech in the game. Usually you walk like this, but if you keep resetting the move animation, you go faster. It's so good. There we go. And that's that section of the game. So we talked to the Emperor again, and I'm gonna buy something from him that I'm gonna need in a bit. Host, can I ask you to help remind me to sell the Holy Bone once I get into the Commoner's Quarters?
To sell the holy what now?
The Holy Bork.
Okay. I'll remind you to sell the holy borg.
Yes.
And when exactly?
When I enter the Commoner's Quarters.
Okay.
So anyway, we were in a different section of the game where we're supposed to be inside of here. So Asen is like, hey, why are you trying to get out? Get back in here. Okay, I'll just get back in, I guess. And that way we go into Queen Himiko's palace, where something is amiss. Because you saw there one of the attendants is seeing stars. She sure got hit by something quite hard. Probably a holy bork.
Okay, he's starstruck.
Yeah, something like that. And we got this giant pool of lava. Luckily, when it comes to lava, we can just do a liquid KT and jump right over. It is actually possible to get that in a single jump, a single double jump, without any glitches or whatever. But it's like 2 times a 2-frame window, and it's really hard to do. Anyways, we fight against evil Rao, because apparently Rao was taken over by a bad guy. And, well, really pissed about that Rao was taken over and that in the body of Rao, Himiko was killed. So we're gonna go and hunt down the evil bastard. Not by dropping in the lava, because then this happens. Shoutouts to Kaiserado. I hope he's watching.
He certainly is.
Love you. Anyway. Anyway, we're gonna go over to the bad guy's lair, which is called Oni Island. Now, the lore behind Oni Island is that it disappears and appears like it appears every morning in a different position, and once it's evening, it disappears again. So now we have a prediction of where it's going to be for the rest of today. So now that it's evening, we have to hurry quickly to catch Oni Island so we can defeat the evil bastard. Anyways, this is where I have to sell the Holy Bork. The reason why we sell it over here is to free up inventory space a little bit. The Holy Bone is in a really bad position. So by selling it, we lose the time of selling it, but we gain the time in menuing. It's a little weird like that, but in the long run, it checks out. It just helps you a lot, especially in your brain.
Hey, Runner.
Yeah?
Don't forget to sell your Holy Bork.
Oh, damn, I forgot to sell my Holy Bork. Oh, no. Oh, no, wait, I just did.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
But yeah, in the distance there, you can see Oni Island being all menacing. It's got eyes for some reason. And you're supposed to go up from the left side by using a brush power we don't have. But since we don't have that brush power, I'm sad to say we're going to have to glitch our way up. I'm sorry to all you glitches are cheating crowd that is probably not watching. And no, well, remember that we killed the water dragon. Well, don't worry, because the water dragon was the friends we made along the way, all along.
Aww.
And the water dragon is gonna help us pierce through the barrier of Oni Island so that we can destroy the evil bastard. He's actually called the Dark Lord, but I like calling him the evil bastard. It's easier that way. And I don't actually like Oni Island all that much, so we're just gonna skip about 3/4 of the dungeon by doing this. And we're just gonna run along the side here. Now what I'm trying to do is keep as much momentum as possible. The best way to do that is to have full speed and to jump at the right moments. I also want to keep a certain amount of height, so whenever I land, I jump I try to jump instantly. We call this technique green hopping, because every time you land, you see this little blades of grass appearing instead of the yellow flowers. And right there, I hit a bad polygon. That can happen. Oh, I lost speed. Well, ain't that great. So because I lost speed, the fastest way of continuing on is by doing a dash every time I land. And then we're going to restore this arrow on the back of the statue. And by doing that, we get ourselves a new brush power.
It's dashing. I'm getting a very mean look.
Anyways, the brush power that we got is Thunderstorm. And with it, we can control electricity. Yay! Now, technically, we could leave the dungeon right now, but the game is like, hey, you have to enter the dungeon once you've like exited the dungeon. So it's better to just do the dungeon. And of course, we're gonna do some out of bounds in the dungeon, because why the hell not? And we're gonna go into one of the, like, I think this is the only actual, like, 2D section that is an actual platforming bit. And luckily, it's not extremely well made, especially not if you have KTs. I'm gonna see if I can get a quick cycle right here. There we go. And really quick. I hope I got it. Ah, almost. You can actually get on top of the spiky bit right there, and that way you can skip having to wait at the bottom. It's really tough to do. You actually kind of, you do need at least one perfect KTs, and I didn't get like any, so yeah. I filled that, but don't worry. This bit is a timer that started, and we have to wait here anyways. And we're gonna jump up here. For the longest of times, we didn't know that we could power slash the top one, so we had tended to have to wait there a bunch. And if you didn't have to wait, it was like, oh, it's amazing, you're so good. But now it's just a power slash, and it becomes easy.
I know, thank you.
It's kind of hard to really explain what I'm doing on Oni Island. Just know that I'm skipping almost all of the dungeon. That's all you really need to know. If you've played this game yourself, you kind of know what's going on. But anyways, here is the best character in this game. This is Toby. He's a little scrap of paper with a true heart of a speedrunner. He races you throughout the dungeon, and then at the end he dies. Luckily, however, in the speedrun, we skip killing Toby. So the true speedrunner can get to live. Woo!
Toby.
I'm not sure what to think about that one. Anyways,
it wasn't mine, it was Kiara's.
Oh, right. Yeah, that explains a lot. Anyway, we're gonna go into, hey, Constellation, are we getting a new brush power? Nope. We're gonna get a boss fight. So this boss thinks himself to be a god, and because of that, you have to summon him using a constellation. But he is no god, so we're gonna we're gonna put him down to size real quick. So in each phase there is one of these, when they split, there's one enemy that requires more than just a exorcism slip. So you have to find them and hit them once, and that way you can quickly kill them. And for the final phase, it's just... Oh, wow. Sneaky fox. I even get the cutscene. No. That's so bad. You usually can end that fight like in a single hit right there, but Ninetales wasn't having any of it.
I thought this was a speedrun.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
I'm not noticing. Nah, JK.
Ow, I'm being bullied over here.
Oh, I thought you were a wolf.
Anyway, a while back you might have remembered that I caught a marlin, if you've been watching. here it is. Look at that. Ain't that beautiful? And now we're gonna...
Did you catch it, or did the old man catch it?
No, don't worry about it. I definitely caught it. And then the cook is gonna make some nice food. And by making some nice food with this marlin, we got ourselves a new brush upgrade. Look at that. So the actual cutscene of the of you getting the brush upgrade is for some reason missing. Only in New Game Plus. In New Game, it's still there. We have no idea why that is, so we just ignore it. And we're gonna jump over the river real quick. I didn't save speed, damn. And we're gonna go back to our buddy Orca, because we got to get another brush power. Orc. So for all you cat lovers, this is the segment for you because you can just hear a cat the whole time. Gonna do some KTs off of Orca. There we go. If you feel one, you have to do them all over again because you tend to go forwards. And you can't do a KT above water. We got a little fight here, and it's pretty easy, just a single X's and flip and it's done. And now I'm gonna jump up the entire tower, and that's gonna take a few minutes, so if you got anything non-meme to say, go ahead.
Dang. Well, don't know, and for chat, we are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering. We organize bi-monthly gatherings in the Benelux for speedrunners. I mean, it's in the name. We're streaming live from Alphen aan de Rijn in the Netherlands. We're raising money for the Dutch Cancer Society, which is a nationwide organization committed to fight cancer while aiming for more cure and a higher quality of life for those suffering and battling the disease. All of your donations will go to the Dutch Cancer Society. And we'd like to thank the ESA for supporting the event and for allowing us to stream on their channel. And it looks like you're pretty much done
not yet.
or
I still have a bit to go.
Oh, dang. Okay, well, if you want to stay updated with our events, start following us on Twitter. All of our information regarding the marathons, other events, submission dates, closing dates, some memes. I mean, come on, it's Twitter, you gotta have memes. Can be found on there. Our Twitter handle is @BSG Marathon. And with that,
we're at the top.
And you're done.
And look at that, it's a useless chest. So that's actually a little glitch. If you get all the way up to Catcall Tower without landing once, the game is like, oh, this is the second time you've climbed the tower. Here, have the chest for the stray bead. And it's empty because we already got all the stray beads, so it's kind of funny. Anyways, here's a cat. Look at that cutie.
Aww.
And we're gonna be nice to it as well. We're gonna feed him. Look at him eat. And because we fed the cat, wow, that's difficult to say. We got a new brush power. There we go. This one is called Catwalk, and it basically allows us to draw those like golden paws you saw on the Catcall Tower from these kind of statues. You're supposed to use this quite often in like the casual playthrough, but we basically never use it in speedrunning because we've got this neat infinite jump glitch that basically does the same, but then everywhere. Gotta jump down real quick. And we're gonna go use the Mermaid Spring to get back to Shinshu Field. There we go. So there's like a thunderstorm going on, but we're gonna ignore that for now. We'll get back to that later. There's some important things you can do with it. First, we have to talk to Ida over here. He's been having some trouble, so we're gonna give him a sweet little pick-me-up, and he is ready to go. And he's ready to race us as well. I'm gonna stand over here. Hi, Ida. Do you want to race? I'm gonna cheat a little bit by using speed restoration to go faster. And that way we can do the first two races really quickly.
You gotta go fast.
Definitely. However, for the third phase, for the third race, the spots where he put like the little kind of spiky thingies is like in right the wrong spot to do the tackle. So we actually do it like this here. It's a lot safer and a bit more consistent to do it like that. Because I've lost a ton of time on this split like many times before. And finally figuring it out, it was pretty nice. Anyways, that was the only reason we were really in Shinshu Field for now. Because after the third race, Ida gives you the gimmick gear. And we're going to be needing that in a little bit. Because we're going to go travel back to Sai'an. And we're going to go over here. So now the guards are like, oh, sure, you can just enter. Don't worry about it. That's nice. They weren't like that previously. And we're going to go all the way to the back because here is the tomb of Queen Himiko. And it's looking kind of dirty, so we're just going to clean that real quick. Look at that. All pretty. And by cleaning it up, we get ourselves a new brush upgrade, which is called Deluge. It basically gives us the ability to make it rain. Sadly, no cash rain, though. That would be nice, doing a cash rain for charity. And now we're going to KT all the way up to the clock tower over here. Takes a little bit of focus. Okay, made it. I wasn't sure if I made it there. And then we're going to talk to Gen. And Gen is an inventor, and he's got this amazing invention, which is a clock. The only problem is that he doesn't have any power. So we give him the gimmick gear, and thanks to that, he teaches us how to use Thunderbolt, which is the upgrade to Thunderstorm. And it basically allows us to summon thunder just about everywhere.
You know what? It's striking.
All these puns, man. All these puns. Be happy I'm not putting on Thunderstorm from AC/DC. I used to do that a ton. Anyway, so that's all we really went for in Sai'an. Back in the day, we used to get Fire Burst here as well, but ever since we found out Fire Burst early, we can do it like this now. Now we're going to go back all the way back to Shinshu Field because we basically cleared everything we need to clear before going to the end part of the game. So we're going to go into the final area right now. Now, technically, I could do weird out of bounds to get to the next area of the game, but I think it's smarter to not do that. There we go. We're just going to use Thunderstorm. We have it anyways. Might as well use it. Jake, can you mute me real quick? Okay, never mind. I'm about to sneeze, but I'm not sure. It feels like I'm about to sneeze, but it seems to be not coming, so it's fine, whatever. Maybe I'll sneeze after doing the run. So yeah, this little tunnel takes us all the way to the final area of the game. Now this area, usually when you get here, you still have like a solid 10 hours to go in your casual playthrough. However, we're gonna do it a little bit faster. So to the left of me, there's this area where there's a couple of fights and whatever, and that allows you to carry on to this area. Or the area that I'm trying to go to, at least. But it's a lot faster to just KT over, get out of bounds, and then KT all the way over to the tree. Like, you're supposed to get rid of the rock first and then bloom the tree. But the tree is already there, so you know what we'll do? We'll just bloom the tree from the bottom. We'll just tree the bloom from the bottom. That's totally how language works. And now that we've bloomed Kamui, we're gonna go over to the next bit. So there's a fight trigger here. In New Game Plus any %, this is actually called the soft lock. Because you don't actually have the brush power to finish the fight. Luckily, we do have the brush power. However, doing the fight is a lot slower than just skipping it. So we still just skip over it. No justice for Igloo Turtle. And then we're going to go over here because we need another brush upgrade. There we go. And from the way I've entered, you might have a good idea of what that brush upgrade is going to be. So we're just gonna dump a ton of money into some water again, because we're rich. And that gives us an upgrade to Cherry Bomb. So now we can draw 3 Cherry Bombs. However, that's like totally not useful ever at all. Even in a casual playthrough, I don't think anyone has ever used it except to get like the final stray bead.
But it's the bomb.
It's the right. Sorry, it's not the right kind of bomb.
Stop cherry picking.
Anyways, that's this area of Kamui basically all the way done. We're not going to come back here. I wish it might be a surprise to people who've played the game before, but there's just a ton of more sequence breaks that skips like a good, like, even in a speedrun it takes half an hour to do. So yeah, we're just going to skip all that. And don't worry, by the way, in the speedrun, we skip so many things and we skip all the cutscenes. So this part of the story is not going to get spoiled for you at all. You might have an idea of where to go, but at the same time, we're sequence breaking dungeons and areas so much that, yeah, it's kind of rough. Anyways, we're going to do another gate skip right here. There's always this little hope that I get stuck in the gate, but sadly I just jumped over it. It's kind of sad. I love getting stuck in the gate. And this is technically one of the final areas of the game. This is Azafuchi, which basically means like twin mountains, because there's like 2 mountains right there. And that is also going to be the final dungeon of this game. Now what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to like talk to some people, get a key, use that key to go all the way to this weird enchanted forest, do some kind of stuff there, and then come all the way back to go into the dungeon. But yeah, we don't really have the time to do all that. I mean, I feel like I'm going overestimate anyways, so like soon. So I might as well just go straight into the dungeon. And the way we do that is we jump over here, and we just KT out of bounds, like so. And go into the loading zone without ever having to open the door. So now we are in Wauku's Shrine. It is a pretty interesting dungeon. There are some really nice little glitches here and there that are utilized in the new game Speedrun. However, we're just going to skip through most of this dungeon, as per usual. Because, well, we have this really awesome infinite jump glitch that I really want to keep showing you guys. I hope you're not tired of it, because here's about 20 of them in a row. I'm going to be focusing on them for a little bit, so I'll be quiet. Wow. Oh, come on. Did I mention that this trick is frame perfect? There we go. All the way to the top. That was not supposed to happen. That was the wrong brush power. Oh, that was really stupid. Let's not do that again. There we go. That's how you're supposed to go over this bit.
First try, every try.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how tries work, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna cheese another fight. Oh yeah. So now that we've cleared most of our items, the only item that we really have is the exorcism slip, so we can just mash X for it. Now for this one, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to use mist to slow down the wheels so you can see them. But you can also just like tap the brush, because whenever you use the brush, time stops. And that way you can get this bit and get the final brush power of the game. There we go. This is a blizzard. Also a cow. Now with Blizzard, you can freeze things like that, and you get this sweet, lovely item on your back. However, that item is slow, so we're just gonna move and get a different one. And now that we have all the rush powers, we don't really need to be in this dungeon anymore. So we're just gonna peace out. And go back into Asafuchi. Okay, but we still have like one more thing to do. Ah, didn't get a hole in one. Gonna jump down here and get the final power / upgrade. After I've done this, I have all the brush powers and their upgrades, and we can finish the game. Oh god, the sneeze is back.
Gesundheit.
Excuse me, thank you. Ah, that sneeze has been bothering me for the entire run now. Oh boy. Ah. Anyway, now what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to finish the Wauku Shrine. And because you finish the Wauku Shrine, this giant arc over here is gonna float into the air, and that way you can get to the final area of the game. However, the loading zone for getting into the arc already exists. So all we really have to do is jump into it. It takes about 6 KTs. Oh, come on. That's about 3, 4, 5. Ah, I have to do an extra one. I dropped too far. And now I can't do the final one, of course. There we go. And now we are in the final area of the game. Now, the final area of the game is basically a boss rush. You're gonna see all the bosses that we didn't defeat, and like 1.5 that you have seen before. Oh no, actually, there's only like 2 bosses that you haven't seen before actually in this boss rush. Huh. In any percent, there's like only 1 boss you've seen before here. Anyways, the first boss is our nice Misty dude, because I did miss him a bunch. Unlike what Captain said.
Oh, he was gonna be missed.
So this is Blight again, and Blight is quite easy. You just missed and do double exorcism slip, and he dies. There we go. So yeah, this bit can be a bit boring in some sense. It's just a bit slow to get through here. There's like a bunch of lore and whatever that's being spouted at you. I'm not going to talk about that at all. You get to experience that for yourself if you ever play the game. But please do. It's been out, like, it recently got like releases on all the new consoles, including PC. And even though the infinite jump glitch is patched on those versions, you can still have a great time with that run, or with that, yeah, with the game. Also, I want to quickly say to Rick, can you turn down the game audio coming up, because it's gonna get loud for a bit. Because for some reason during Orochi, the game audio just goes up all the way. There's a wall of noise, and it's a little bit annoying. So again, against Orochi, we trigger Earth first, and that way we can trigger multiple heads, and we can get 3 heads drunk at the same time in this fight, unlike in the previous fight. There we go. And that really speeds up the fight. This used to be like an extremely boring and annoying fight, but with this strat, it's just so much cooler. On the way out, you quickly hit the bell, That way you only have to do a single exorcism slip. And in the second phase, all you really have to do is do a fully charged glaive hit on every single hit. And you have to time those right, or else, yeah, you're just gonna miss and you're gonna look like an idiot. Even though I already do, because I'm getting completely hecked by the fire. Where the fire drops is almost RNG. And sometimes you can just like get completely hecked, and it's really annoying. And just 2 more hits. Oh, just 1 more hit, I mean. And there we go, that's Orochi. The game audio can be turned up again. And we're gonna go on to the boss that you didn't see. So the next boss is the boss of the area where we got Vine. So you can have 3 guesses as to what gimmick the boss has when it comes to brush powers. Yeah, we have to use Vine a lot. If you use it really nicely, there's some really, it looks really cool and fast. So I'm gonna try and get it the perfect way. So you're vying yourself over, and if you get the camera right, you can actually get that one, while you're traveling on to the other side, and there you land. So you get everything, and then you land. It's sweet. It's such a fast boss this way. I used to remember in my casual playthrough, I didn't know you could just like hook the little hooks anytime you want, so I had to like walk around a ton, and it took forever to... Like, back in the day, it took me like half an hour to beat the boss. And now it takes me like less than a minute. It's weird, looking back at how stupid you used to be. Stay hydrated. Anyway, the next boss is another boss you haven't seen before. This is the boss of Gil Shrine. So, of course, the gimmick is that you have to use Gilstorm. So we're going to be doing that. It's actually a very interesting set of inputs you have to do, and it took me a long time to really get them. But like that, it's a really quick and easy fight. Like, we're just so overpowered that all of these fights just become easy. But you still have to do them, so yeah. Do a quick stretch. The next boss is one of the 2 bosses, or one of the 3 bosses you have seen before. It's going to be Ninetales again. So again, we're gonna have to find the big one and the old one to try and kill those first, because they have more health than the other ones. There we go. Using Thunderstorm to split him. Find the big one. Sure, he's dead. And go on to the next one. damn, too early. You actually have to wait a little bit before Ninetales' hitbox actually exists. So you have to time that. If you miss time, yeah, you just have to do another shot. I tend to make sure that I have 2 shots left. And there we go. Because in this fight, Ninetales likes to jump around a bit more, we use an extra slip just for safety to make sure that we can kill him really quickly. And that way, we have done all the boss rush. Yay! If we could ever like skip doing this rush to get to the final boss, the any % speedrun would probably take somewhere around 40 minutes rather than 1 hour and 20 minutes. It's actually a ridiculously big time save if we can get that. But oh well. Now we're gonna go over to the final boss. Now, I have to preface this with the same thing that I always say. This is a wonderful, amazing boss if you play this casually. And if you play this casually, please do not emulate anything of the things I'm doing right now. Do not use slips, for the love of God. Because you're just going to have a better time if you don't use slips at all. It's a really well-designed fight, but once you take slips into it, yeah, you can just cheese the hell out of this boss, and it basically becomes an auto-scroller, as you're about to see. Because we just deal so much damage to Yami that we get into these phases really quickly. Now, the idea of the fight is that at the start of the fight, Yami takes away all your brush powers, and during every phase, you're going to get your brush powers back one by one, so you can use them on him. And it's really awesome because every brush power gets like a special thing that they can do in this fight. But you never really get to see that during speedrun at all. And I mean like this, I've already completely depleted Yami's health in this phase, so we literally just have to wait out getting every single one of our brush powers back. So that's going to take a while. It's a really sad thing, because it's just such a wonderfully designed boss until you put the string of beats and the exorcism slips into play. Okay, and that's the final brush power for this phase. We're gonna do a quick ink bullet to deal a little bit of damage so we can get on to the next phase. And in the next phase, I'm gonna do something that I like to call rigging the slots. Which is using 5 slips in a row. There we go. We just rigged the slots, because this is the slots section of the game. There we go. And because we rigged the slots every time, every single phase, Yami is going to give us a brush power back. We don't really have to do anything else. I mean, I can just like poop around, I guess. There we go. Have a nice exploding poop. You said poop. There we go. And just one more phase to get the final brush power back from him. Oh, that actually worked. I didn't think that worked. And to get on to the next phase, we just use a single slip, and there we go. Now for the next phase, we're going to do something very special. I'm going to use 6 slips in a row this time, instead of 5.
Be careful to don't slip on it.
Don't worry about it.
It might be slippery.
Yeah, yeah. You know, for the next phase, I'm gonna change up things a bit. I'm gonna use a single slip. Oh, that worked well. You know what? That worked so well. I should probably try that again. Oh wow, look at that. I instantly got another brush power back. Ain't that awesome? So yeah, for the final attack, we have to do one more slip, and then we're gonna go into the final phase, and do get ready on time. Because this is gonna be over in an instant. Basically draw the sun, that way Yami becomes exposed, and time. Gonna skip through the cutscenes real quick because the in-game timer is still running. We actually go by in-game time in this speedrun. And it's probably not gonna be very good because of the small pause. Yeah, 2:35. That's not very good. But oh well.
The timing may not be good, in your opinion, but the quality of the run was amazing.
Yeah, I'm honestly quite pleased with it. I got the show of one or two new things that haven't been shown off before, so and like having a nice round number to end on is pretty sweet. So yeah, a quick shout outs to the entire Ōkami community. You guys are absolutely amazing, and it's awesome to just be around people that just keep finding these ridiculously cool glitches that make the run even better every single iteration. So thank you very much, and thank you all for watching. And have fun with the final few runs.
All right, thank you very much, Kinnin. It was amazing hosting you for today. I'm done actually for today as well for hosting. I'm just gonna outro this. Up next, we have The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, No I Am /WW by the one and only Jelster. He's new, be gentle. It's gonna be a fun run, I know. For now, we're gonna have a few ads, and I'd say enjoy. See you soon.